Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing good tonight. Hello, K9. Good to see you. Ready to get started on our... This is going to be a fun night, I think, guys. I didn't realize what videos we were watching tonight, and boy, it's going to be fun, I think. But I did want to just show you something. We've all talked about my dog, right? Hello, Noni. Aw. Well, welcome in. We're happy to have you. So I've talked to you guys about my dog, Lacey. Well, she thinks she's a lap dog, right, you guys? She's too big. Look at, she's she's sitting on me, on my lap, in my recliner, and you can see most of her body. She's almost the full length of the recliner. I've got the feet part up. Yeah, she thinks she's a lap dog. Crazy dog. She gets too hot. Let me tell you what. Ugh. But, all right. Well, tonight we are going to continue our discussion on Sebastian Rogers, where we're going back and reviewing everything. And the actual interviews from tonight, the first one is Seth with Court TV, and that was done on April 26th of this year. And then the next one is Websleuths, that was done on the 27th. Heather, the PI, Seth's PI, is on there. And then Chris gets on, and I think Seth jumps on at some point. I don't know. This goes on for a while, guys. So I don't think we'll finish it tonight. But we'll start with, hello, Brenda. Reading your comments. Yeah, that's our girl. She likes to be up on our laps. And, you know, we get her clipped and groomed constantly. But her nails hurt when she's jumping up on us. You know, it's like, oh, ow, ow, ow. It's, you know, but you can't help but love her because she just wants to be by you. You know, she just wants to love on us, you know. All right. So, there's been a couple of things that came out, nothing that I really want to share, because I don't want to be caught up in all the gossip garbage. But I encourage you to do your own investigation. If you guys ever watch Hindsight or War Damn Eagle, those two are really good for showing what's going on in the Sebastian Rogers case. It's usually drama, and I try to stay away from that here, so I won't show that. But yeah, there was a couple of things that came out today that were kind of interesting. So I'm going to share my screen, and we will watch Court TV with Seth first. I don't think this one's not very long.
So today officially is marking 2 months since the 15-year-old went missing from his home in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Rogers is living with autism, 15 years old, disappeared in the middle of the night, barefoot with a flashlight, according to his mother. It was her home from which he disappeared. Local authorities have moved from a search and rescue operation to an open investigation. In the meantime, Sebastian's biological father, Seth Rogers, has hired a private investigator. Where
Hello, Ginger.
is Sebastian?
I didn't see him in his room. I looked all over. I ran through the whole house. I looked out all the doors and windows, and I was like hollering his name.
I definitely stand behind Seth. We try to follow him where he goes. I hope somebody finds something.
I just can't imagine what he's going through. He's just been, asking for help and been involved in the search.
There is no evidence to support foul play is involved in the disappearance of Sebastian.
The house was searched at least 10 times.
Dogs?
Dogs.
You're going to be out here doing what needs to be done to bring our grandson home. We appreciate it. But if you're out there just making money, stay away.
Let's bring in our very special guests now. Joining us, we're so pleased to welcome back on the show Sebastian Rogers' father, Seth Rogers, and also a community volunteer who's working endlessly in the search. She's also an author and a minister, Shalon Williams. Great to see you both this morning. Seth, I'm so sorry as we're talking again and still Sebastian is missing. First and foremost, our hearts, our prayers, our love and light go out to you and everyone who loves Sebastian so much. Could we start, please, with the latest thing that you have done in your efforts, and that is hiring a private investigator to get involved. Tell us why and catch us up, please, on the very latest with that, if you would.
I hired a private investigator because I wasn't having successful communication with law enforcement agencies. They don't communicate too well with me. So I hired somebody that would help investigate, to help me do what I was doing to begin with and to communicate with them. I'm only one person going and knocking on doors. There's more than one lead. We don't know what leads are going to pan out. Law enforcement only cares about legitimate leads, but they have pretty much not shown any progress from my point of view. So every lead has to be followed up, and I'm only one person.
Sure. And we know you have wonderful people like Shalon Williams who are supporting you here and hoping to bring Sebastian home safely. Shalon, tell us a little bit about some of the things that have gone on that have, I don't want to say hindered, but maybe just been sort of distractions in the search that, the good people like yourself have been trying to find Sebastian, but there have been some bloggers and some people who have sort of interfered. And I know that's been upsetting.
Yes. Hi, Julie. Yes, misinformation has truly hindered, I feel like, to a point, what we have been trying to do as Team Sebastian, as Sebastian Army, as Seth has said. And so while we do realize that we all have that freedom of speech, misinformation can truly bring in divide. I'll put it that way.
You're right, Shalon. We've got to have the correct information out there and people who truly are in this for the right reasons. Sebastian's Army, as you said, Shalon, thank you for that. We know that Sebastian's biological mother, Katie Proudfoot, and her husband, Chris Proudfoot, have certainly come under the microscope as they were the ones who own the home where Sebastian went missing from. I've got a clip from his mother, Katie, speaking to the media after his disappearance. Let's take a look.
About midnight, I got up and I went to bed. And 6 o'clock, I went to wake him up for school Monday morning. And that's when he wasn't here.
Now, Seth, I want to go back to you, please. The last time we talked, you were saying how, Sebastian's mother bears responsibility here, negligence at the very least. You were saying you weren't happy. Has anything progressed in terms of you working with the Proudfoots together in a civil way to try to find Sebastian?
I sent him emails Monday and Tuesday, trying to get somebody a person in that would be a spokesperson that would speak for all three of us. So that way people wouldn't think people are slinging mud. I've sent them an email on the following day for a canine specialist. She's got great certified dogs all the way up to the federal level, DOD, FBI. And Chris approached me at the vigil and said he wanted to work. But I'm not understanding if he's not understanding that communication is the key to a successful team. Communication is the key to finding Sebastian.
Definitely.
I'm just asking for some communication.
Right.
And I'm not, I'm hoping for it.
Sure. So up to this point, so we're clear, Seth, the Proudfoots haven't been responsive to your communications. Is that right?
Currently, no. There's always later on today. It's only Friday. 4 days, 5 days. I hope that Chris and Katie understand that it's been 2 months since my son has gone missing. Law enforcement is treating this as a runaway, but we don't know. I'm going down every rabbit hole trying until I get to the bottom of it. Every time one of these people sit there and post something on Facebook or come up with some outlandish idea, if it makes sense, it's a hypothesis. I have to sit there and follow it. I can't leave every stone unturned. I'm going to flip over everything. I'm going to look under every leaf. I've got to find my son.
Absolutely. And you've got an army of people, great people, one of them being Shalon.
I do.
Trying to help you out.
Yes.
And show that support. Shalon, you've
She's a very
organized.
wonderful person.
Yeah, she is. I know we're lucky to know her at Court TV. And Shalon, tell us, please, you helped organize this Light the Path event that's happening tonight. Sebastian's favorite color was green, and you're lighting up the path at Memorial Park tonight. Talk to us a little bit about the significance of this, please.
Our goal tonight, which will be different than what we've done in the past, is we will be silent. So for 2 minutes and 26 seconds, we all will be joined hand in hand across the bridge in silence. We feel like there has been so much negative communication and so much going on within the social media platforms that tonight we just want silence. And when you think about the word silent, listen and silent have the same words. And so we want to get silent so that we can hear. And we're hoping that through this silence, that those that are out there, our police department and everyone that comes out, will be able to just hear something that will lead them to Sebastian. And we have that path lit tonight to let Sebastian know in spirit that you have a path home. You have a path home.
Beautifully said. Shalon Williams, Seth Rogers, thank you both so much for coming on the show, keeping us apprised of everything. You're welcome back anytime, and we're going to continue advocating for Sebastian here on this program. Again, the Light the Path event tonight at 7:30 p.m. Thank you both so much.
Okay. So that one was really good, I thought. And yes, I think the divide started with this next video that we're going to show. It was the end all of, I think, them even trying to work together. And yeah, it was the end. It was the 27th that this next video starts. So put your gloves on, get ready to put your shields on, I should say, and don't let anything come at you. Yes, that vigil was awesome. I remember watching it live, and it was so beautiful with the green luminaries and stuff. And yeah, it was really special. And I can't even imagine having been there what it felt like. That would have been incredible. So the divide started on Facebook, maybe in those groups. Gotcha. And then came to YouTube and then TikTok. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I don't know. So let's go to the next one. I'll probably be stopping this one often just so that we don't have to take too much of it at a time. Oh, and you'll know what I mean when we start this. So I kind of started it around the time that Chris came in.
Okay, hold on. Yeah. Hold on. Coming. And we ask everybody to be respectful to the host and the guests on our show. No crappy comments, please. Okay. Right. No this crappy. Is about a missing child. Right. And that's all that matters. And we will always be polite to our guests. Yeah. Okay. So who do we have here? Who do we have here? I've put you on the platform.
You have me, Chris.
Hi, Chris Proudfoot. Hello. I really appreciate you coming here. I'm going to change the banner really quickly so everybody knows it's you. But I don't know how long you've been listening.
Long enough.
Okay. You sound angry. Talk to me.
Oh, very.
Talk to me. We don't want to get you. The last thing we want to do, Chris, is cause problems between you and Seth. I swear to God.
Well, so I understand that, but let me help you with something.
Okay.
Okay, a lot of the information that I've been listening to on your show, coming from Chloe, the questions that are coming through people, it's very sickening and disgusting, to be personally honest with you.
Okay, let's talk about it.
So let me go ahead and address a few things and help y'all out.
Okay.
Because Chloe, you're the PI. I haven't had a chance to talk to you. You haven't even called me. You ain't done anything, first off.
Heather is
the only one. Heather is the only one who has reached out to me or to my wife.
I
so for you to sit on this show and sit here and give information that you don't have all the answers to is a problem.
Okay, well, Chris.
Okay. When he said, "Let me help you with something," that irritated me. But I don't know what the lady's name is in the blonde hair at the top. She is very good. She's very good. Noni, unless Seth was going to go along with the playbook, so to speak, of CP, right. However, Seth was obviously not going to stop nor be quiet until he found his son, and that wasn't how the feed wanted it. Exactly. It was control of the narrative, yeah, and it's been vicious. And the thing is that, I mean, guys, there's a lot going on behind the scenes that everybody doesn't know that I will not get into, and it is vicious. It's awful. And in my opinion, Chris and Katie did not want this to go this public. He didn't want people around his house. He, just something very, in my opinion, not good about that. Because I think the parent of the normal parent of a missing child is gonna say, "Come on in, my house is yours. Whatever you need, take. I don't have nothing to hide. You do what you want, I'd be talking to every news outlet I could, which is exactly what Seth's been doing, you know. And I'm not going to lie, I really have a hard time with Chris in this video. The way that he's talking to Chloe and these other women, it just really irritates me to no end, honestly.
Help us understand, because I know Chloe, and Chloe wants to help. And the last thing Chloe would do is want to put out misinformation. And the problem is...
Okay, I understand that. So let me just smash something real quick.
Okay.
Okay, first and foremost, anything that goes on between me and my wife is not a damn bit of anybody's personal business. I don't care what you think. I don't care what y'all got to say. That'd be like me splashing all your business out to the world.
Okay.
It does not matter what goes on in my house. We're looking for my son. That's real simple.
Your stepson, right.
It doesn't matter. Stepson, my son. All.
So, I don't know why he thought it would be any different for Sebastian's case than anybody else's case. Guys, any case that's been out there, especially recently, the parents' personal lives are out there, right? I mean, that's what happens. Yes, mine too, exactly. Because anyone who has been a victim of DV is going to trigger by this. And yeah, that's me. The tone of voice is very, very triggering to me. And it would be to, anyone that has been in that, not to mention a normal person who just would not put up with it, right? But yes, this is where my opinions began to change. And really, literally up to that point, I didn't have an opinion. I really didn't. I tried to remain open, but it was here that just really got me going. All right.
The kids are treated as if they're your own. There is no title, a stepson, a son. It does not matter. That boy is loved by me just like he is my own. Just like he's my own.
Okay, Chris, may I ask you something?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
agree, Noni.
Okay. I've been doing this for a long time, and let me tell you why people are asking personal questions about you and your wife, okay? It's because of the situation in which Sebastian has gone missing, and they're wondering if whatever happened between you and your wife, does it have something to do with Sebastian going missing? I swear to you, it's not to be nosy. It's not to be rude. It's just trying to figure out what happened to Sebastian.
Okay, so let me make this even crystal clear for you.
Okay.
And everybody out there that's got all these negativity, disgusting comments and questions that y'all think you know anything about, when honestly, you don't know a damn thing. And that's the problem. You assume, you speculate, all this crap. You have no idea what me, my family, my wife, everybody involved is going through, to include Seth, his mom, and everybody else.
Okay.
Because it's the vile, disgusting crap that comes out of people's mouth. Yes, I'm a very pissed off stepfather to this whole situation.
Okay, and I understand, and I hear what you're saying. But again...
So let me help y'all with something.
Okay.
Y'all said some shit that's really... it's really none of your damn business, but since you brought it up, I'm clear it.
Okay.
My parents didn't go to Alaska 2 days after he went missing.
I don't think
Why my parents went to Alaska was because my stepfather went for work.
Okay, nobody said they went 2 days after he went missing.
Oh, no, it's out there, trust me, because I have
Okay,
terabytes.
I did not say that.
Nobody
I didn't say
said that
you.
here. Okay.
I said people.
Okay.
Now I have terabytes of videos of Seth on here saying some vile stuff. I've got videos of everybody and their comments out here.
But
trust me, what I'm bringing to you.
Okay, but what about you and Katie being seen in Oregon not long after Sebastian went missing? Yeah. And yes, Noni, it does matter what goes on in their house, especially when there was 5 CPS reports within 2 years before Sebastian went missing. I would say that that is relevant to the case, right? You know, it is a fact that a child left a warm home, shoeless in the middle of the night. To me, that gives me bad thoughts. Yes, I don't think he left on his own because I don't think that Sebastian would have left without his shoes. I really don't. Somebody else said once that if he was being chased, he might have, but I don't, I don't know. I still don't think he left on his own. That's my opinion. Thank you, Noni. Yeah, I just, and do I like what I'm saying? No. It's the last thing I would have ever wanted to believe that parents would have been involved in what happened to him, but in my opinion, they are. They're involved big time. And just on a side note, how do you like how she spelt his name up there for everybody to see? Proud food. That's the nicest I've seen the misspellings of his name, though. I've seen a lot worse.
It's not that I'm just pulling stuff out of the air.
I understand. No. And Chris, I'm glad you cleared that up. That's a good.
And by the way, they didn't go for a month.
Okay.
They went for 2 weeks. My stepdad went on business. My mom went with him, but it's really nobody's business.
Well, but Chris, let me, and please understand, I swear to God, I'm coming from a place of understanding because I've been doing this for years. Okay. Here's the thing. When you ask the public for help, they're going to look at everything and try and figure out what happened to Sebastian. And let me from an outsider looking in, it's okay. His parents left town shortly after. Was there a reason? Did they take Sebastian with him? It is speculation that I am sorry it's hurtful to you, and I understand it. And that's why it's important that you clear it up. Just clear it up. Nobody's trying to be hurtful or mean. I promise you, we've all been asked to help find Sebastian. And this is what we do. We try and think outside the box. We try and ask questions and think outside the box and figure out what has gone on. It is not meant.
And that's what he doesn't want. He never wanted anyone to think outside the box. He only wanted us to follow his narrative. Because his narrative means that he wasn't involved. But a true detective is going to look at everything. Right? Yeah, her cat. I know. But, he doesn't want anyone to think outside the box. He wants everybody to just stay inside the box in his narrative. Because heaven forbid anybody should have a thought of their own or realize what truly happened. The cat was triggered. Well, yeah. I don't know. Well, yeah, animals have pretty good hearing, right? So I know Lacey can hear through when I have an earbud and she can hear through it. But then again, I have it pretty loud, so I can hear. So I can imagine she can hear everything. But yeah, it's possible that her cat was hearing through her headphones as loud as Chris was being.
Outside of the box does nothing but cause speculation. And it causes people to call in tips that don't mean anything, that you're taking sources away from the investigation because Joe Schmo down the street thinks that my family owns a cemetery. We own a funeral home. Like, where in the hell do you get up with this stuff? And not you. I'm saying the public.
And so that, Chris, that's why it is great that you're here, because we want to clear this up
Did
and
Seth
help
join
you
now?
get it out. And I'm going to tell you something, Chris, when it comes to the general public, they're always going to be calling in crazy tips and doing crappy things. And all we can do is say, that's not us. We are not doing that.
Well,
But
it doesn't
and
matter,
I
though.
did want to clear
That
it
does
up.
not matter.
I
Doesn't
did want
matter
to clear it
one
up, Chris.
iota.
I did reach out to you on March 17th, publicly and privately. You responded to me publicly. You asked me to ask my question publicly. I did. You didn't respond. I reached out to you privately again. So I have reached out to you.
Where in the public? Where?
I reached out to you on Facebook. I reached out to you on Facebook Messenger privately. You've never read my message.
Well, don't take this the wrong way, but a lot of the bullshit that I get in Facebook.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I just want to make it clear that
Can I explain to you?
So it's okay for him to scream at her that she has never reached out to him once, right? But then she tells him that she did. Oh, I don't read those messages. And that's supposed to be okay. No, it doesn't work like that, right? I mean, he's so rude. And yes, he is his own worst enemy. This was April, guys. 2 months after Sebastian went missing. And then now he looks at us and others look at us and wonder why we have this opinion of him. He did this to himself. He did it himself.
Yeah.
You send me messages along with thousands of other people.
I understand that. And that's why I took it public. And you did respond to me and ask me to ask my question publicly because you wanted whatever answer you were going to give to be public to clear it up.
What was the question that you asked me? Since I neglected your question.
And that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I want to make it clear that I haven't not tried to reach out to you.
And Chris, I know you're mad. God, I can feel it. I can hear it, and I understand it. You've got to believe me when I tell you this. Please, if you can dial it back a bit and get us some of these answers and let us help you clear up this bull so it doesn't interfere anymore. And like I said, you're always going to have crazy people interfering and coming up with rumors, and it's so maddening and frustrating, and I hate it. It pisses me off more than anything, and anybody that knows me knows that.
It pisses you off? You're not in our shoes.
I know.
You haven't been in our shoes.
Okay, well, you don't know that, but I haven't been in your shoes and missing a child, no. But believe me, I can understand what you're going through, and what I'm saying is we can help you, Chris. We can help you, all right? Anybody here in this chat that asked about a cemetery, it's because somebody else brought it up. Just tell us.
Exactly. And my question comes back to, where do these people come up with this crazy crap?
That's $1 million question. I don't know.
Yeah, online.
Let's clear it up. Let's.
Oh, where do these people come up with this crazy crap, right? You know, Noni says the way CP is, I can't help but be very curious about his service record. I just can't imagine a person like him acclimating to the military too well. But that's me. He may have been a model Navy man. Yes, and I mean, let's see what from the Cold Case Foundation has hinted about troubles during his military career. Oh, ha. Well, there you go. You know, he's pretty militaristic himself, right? Between the discipline, throwing Sebastian's toys away if he didn't clean his room right, or things away. He didn't even say it was toys. Throwing his things away. Just, you know, and the other stuff, you know, the abuse and everything. He didn't think that a swat on the butt with the belt was a bad thing. You know, a lot of the population do not agree with that. We're living in a different time. Brenda, Joe, and I were just talking about that the other day. Our parents, our mothers were sisters, okay? And our parents, both of our mothers, told us about how they had to go out and get their own switches, you know, and they would grab the little ones, thinking, you know, the real thin ones, thinking from the tree, thinking that those wouldn't hurt as bad. And I guess those hurt worse because they were flexible, right? That's almost like a whip. So, and then, you know, my sister and I got the belt. Not very often. But then I did not use a belt. Okay. So every generation, things are different. And we're living in the day where a belt is not considered good disciplinary measures. That's a thought. I kind of feel bad for CP. He had a rough childhood. I think he may have been a very scared little boy. You know, and I'm just going to say this. I read something earlier today. And I agree with that statement, Ginger, because the tone was very much, you know, children grow up emulating their parents a lot of times. It's not always, but a lot of times. And the tone was very much like CP's. You were a willow branch kind of girl. That's funny. Okay. Let's continue on with Mr. Proud Food.
Let's clear it up for you. Let us help you.
You're saying, I believe, Chloe, you're saying online. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm sorry. I said that. There's a lot of
Stacy.
crazy people online. And just to let you know, I understand you get a lot of messages. I reached out to you when Sebastian first went missing too, to see if we could help in any way. Oh.
Yeah, but Chris, I understand your anger, but I'm telling you, please let us help you. Okay, we're not here to point fingers at you or whatever. But the problem is, and this is what we were talking about earlier, Chris, when the public is asked to help and then no information is provided, then people, because of social media, and social media is here to stay, unfortunately, this never used to be a problem, never, until social media. And it's terrible. I will be the first one to admit it's terrible. But let us help you clear it up, okay? So you don't own a cemetery and you don't own a funeral home. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, everybody stop with that bullshit. All right.
Here, let me add this to the thing. We don't own a private plane. We don't own 78 pieces of property. Mm-hmm. We don't own a private yacht. What else do you guys want to come up saying that we own? like we're millionaires or something. Like we've got this money growing off trees, which, by the way, it'd be great if we did, because I guarantee we wouldn't need anybody's help because he'd have been home by now.
Right. No, I understand. No, I completely understand. Okay. But understand, when the public is asked to help with social media, this is what social media does. And it can be your
Worst nightmare.
or your best friend.
Yes.
And let us help it. And I can give you
So I just want to. So you had to pick your own switch. I know about all those things versus thick. I also got the belt, flatter, wooden spoon, the hand, the list goes on. And Brenda Joe says, I remember when we got the switch, but when we were in the city, we got the belt at Grandma and Grandpa's. My dad would. I don't think I ever got the switch, so at Grandma and Grandpa's. But I could understand why, because Grandma and Grandpa would have thought it was okay, so your dad probably just, yeah. I only had tall boxwood bushes to pick my switches from, and my mom loved leaving a couple of leaves on the end. Oh, goodness. Oh. I shouldn't laugh because I think of that, and at the time it was traumatizing, right? On the other hand, I think, we have a generation today that, are not disciplining their children hardly at all. And, they're, many of them are entitled and spoiled. And so, there has to be a good balance somewhere, right?
examples. I can have you talk to people that have said, yes, the people at Websleuths, they've helped us. They've been great. Okay. Yes. But hey guys, I understand why Chris is angry, because it's coming 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Horrible crap about him. Okay. And his family. I get the anger. So we're going to help you. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to let my cat out before she drives everybody crazy. So I apologize. So hang on. Chloe, is there anything you'd like to say while I let my cat out before she drives me nuts?
I will ask the question.
Yep.
I'll actually read you the message I sent you. This was March 17th. Good afternoon, Chris. I wrote this in a chat you're involved with, but I'm worried it may be lost because there's so much chatter. First, let me say I'm a Tennessee private investigator and have been praying and actively bringing awareness to Sebastian from day one. His case is near and dear to my heart. I had a question. I know Sebastian went to his dad's every other weekend or so. Did you come home on those weekends? Not a specific date, but just in general. Or did Katie come and stay with you? Are you often gone during the week? Just curious about Sebastian's day-to-day dynamic with his parents. And then I messaged you again after I posted that question publicly. You asked me to post it publicly, and I did, and then I wasn't answered. And I said, hey, Chris, just messaging again. So it'll be at the top. I know you said you get a ton of messages.
So, and again, we understand that you get a ton of messages. We absolutely understand that. Is there somebody else in our chat room? I can't see it.
Heather.
Heather, do you want to come up? I guess she does.
I'm here.
Oh, she is? Okay. Oh, hi, Heather. I didn't see you there.
Hi.
Okay.
There was a lot of talk. I didn't really have a chance to say hello.
And this Heather is the other private investigator.
Yeah, I know who Heather is.
Okay. Heather, would you like to say anything?
Well, so I spoke with them earlier today, and obviously, as you know, Mr. Proudfoot did message me and ask for a number so he could come in, and I think that it is past due. I think that it's a good thing for Mr. Proudfoot to address some of the allegations that are being made. I would like to have the opportunity, like I said to him earlier today, it's good for us, Chloe and I, to have access to them to be able to when we get this information, instead of having to go around them to other sources to try to get the answers to those questions, to actually be able to come to him for those answers and try to clear them up directly. So I'm glad he's here. I really am. Even though he's
I am too. I'm thrilled. I'm
even though
absolutely
he's
thrilled.
angry, I'm glad he's here, and I've spoken to him before, and he's been very upset with me before. But once he calms down, I think maybe we can get somewhere. Maybe we can get somewhere.
Yeah. Okay, so let's address something real quick with your viewers who say I'm drunk and belligerent. No, I'm just a pissed off dad. So let's get that real clear.
Hey, everybody, if any, mods.
So if you want to keep your comments and that's how your audience wants to play this game,
no.
Then no, I'm not going to clear up anything or turn the chat off. If you want to clear this up, let's get it right. And let's take all the stupid people out of this equation and answer the deals.
Okay, Chris, hang on. Mods, if anybody says anything rude about any of our guests, I want you to ban them, kick them out. Okay?
It's like this. If you ain't got nothing factual about me to say, keep your mouth shut.
Well, okay, but Chris, they don't know if it's factual.
Exactly. Okay? So that's the best recommendation I can give them.
Well, but they want to ask questions, and let me tell you why.
Questions are one thing, not a statement where I'm belligerent and I'm drunk, because guess what, folks? I could read the comments that you post.
I know, and I'm telling everybody, if anybody says anything rude, they're booted from chat. Mods, if you could boot them. Stacy, could you get Ping over here to help us? Anybody?
And the other part of this is if it's nothing in regards to Sebastian, I really don't give a shit, people.
No, and I agree, Chris. And I mean, I don't know if you heard, I didn't want to discuss.
Oh, I asked a lot of questions and she wouldn't discuss it. Absolutely.
I think it's semantics at this point. He's been missing for 2 months, and I don't know how his bathroom habits are going to help me find him.
Exactly. Mind you that children with autism do have bladder and bowel movement issues to control themselves. But I'm not really worried that people can't read and do their own.
Well, but Chris, let me tell you.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and care about that either.
Let me tell you why that was brought up. Okay,
Yeah, exactly. He has to have that control for his narrative. It's just the way it is. Chris has to have control. It's his way or it's the highway. That's who he is. That's his personality. I don't think anybody's ever going to change that. He's the only one that can change that if he wants to. He may feel that there's nothing wrong with him, but I think that whenever you've got how many people maybe are in her chat, right? And, you've got majority of people saying, what the heck, and, when you have that, you got to wonder. I read somewhere recently that, or maybe it was Chris said that himself, they keep to themselves, they don't have other friends, blah, blah, blah. Well, I wonder why. Yeah. He does. He blames autism for behaviors that can be caused by an abusive environment. That's very true, especially when Sebastian is a high-functioning autistic, right? I mean, I don't know a whole lot about autism, but if they're high-functioning, I'm going to think that, they only display lower autistic behaviors than, more. That's what I'm saying. We think alike. Great minds, right? Hello, Love Matters. Good to see you. All right, let's continue on with this.
Because of what Seth said. Seth said at his house, he didn't
Yes,
need
you
it.
are correct. No, you are correct. You just hit the nail on the head. You just hit the nail on the head. Seth has opened his mouth. He has said a lot of things he probably shouldn't. And he needs to learn how to close it because, quite honestly, none of that has anything to do with finding Sebastian.
Right. And you know what? But Chris, let's keep it that way because Seth has said he is not going to do that anymore, and he hasn't.
Bullshit. Let me explain to you why. That Sunday when I went to that vigil and spoke to Seth, very calmly, very respectfully, we were having a good conversation while everybody stood behind me and would snap the little pictures and stuff. Heather came up in the conversation.
Very calmly, very respectfully. When you got, I wish I had that picture to put up right now. You guys remember that? Do you remember how he was in Seth's face? It was a very aggressive stance, in my opinion. He may have been quietly saying what he wanted to say, but I'll bet the tone was not very good. And his stance was very aggressive stance towards Seth. You'll never get me to believe anything else in that. Yeah. I think he was threatening Seth. Yeah, no worries, Ginger. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Right? Yeah, I think, I think that we were all surprised by his behavior and shocked. And this wasn't the only time he acted like this either. So, you see it more than once. You could even, to me, this was pretty aggressive. This was pretty bad. But we could even say, okay, he was just angry. They got a lot going on. They've got a lot coming at them. Okay, I'll just give him the benefit of the doubt. But then when you see it again, it's like, okay, no. This is this guy's MO, right? I mean, you automatically go to that.
She saw us. It was not a aggressive conversation. It was actually a good one. But see, it wasn't 3 hours later. Seth was on YouTube on somebody else's show, sitting there. He's blaming Katie, my wife, for Sebastian's disappearance. Wow. Now, unless you got cold hard facts, which you don't open your mouth.
Well, the cold hard fact is Katie was the last person to see him. There's some cold hard facts, right? And why should Seth shut his mouth? He's Sebastian's father, not Chris.
Because all you're doing is making an ass out of yourself because you're assuming.
Say that everybody is
grieving
and handling this situation differently. I won't comment on if I agree with any of the ways that people are acting at this point. I do think, in the last week we've been trying to build a bridge. And I know it's difficult and it's not going to be just clean and perfect. But I think if we can all just refocus and try to not focus on the other things people have done that make you angry.
So here, let me explain to y'all something that y'all don't get a chance to see. Because unfortunately, we're meeting on a very bad circumstance. Okay, but Seth can contest to this. So Seth comes to Tennessee. He gets his job in the security force. He wants to be law enforcement. He has had a dream of being law enforcement since I have known him.
Okay.
There was a chance for something that came up, and I called him and said, look, I think you should apply for this. I think you'd be great at it, which is the job he currently has.
Okay.
Now,
So, okay. And he said this several times that he got Seth the job. Good for him. That was a good gesture. That was great. Why does he have to tell the world? You guys, when we do something good for someone, I don't know about you, but I don't go around bragging to everybody about it. It's like you're taking away your own blessing for having done something good. Because you're asking for kudos from other people. I mean, I'm glad that he did that, and I appreciate the fact that he helped Seth out, and I'm sure Seth appreciates that fact. And I'm serious. I'm very sincere about that. But why does he have to go on and tell everybody about it? Because that has nothing to do with Sebastian, but it's part of Chris's narrative.
he gets accepted. He's excited. He calls me and says, thank you, man. I really appreciate you helping me. That I have been a supporter and a cheerleader for him this whole time. Okay. But y'all don't get to see that. And Seth's not going to tell you that. During the middle of the training, Seth decided one day he wants to call me, tell me he doesn't think he's going to complete it. But I told him, I said, look, you're going to sit there and you're going to go back in there and you're going to complete this training because your son thinks you hang the moon and the sun. So you need to go in there and prove to your son that dreams and goals can be met. Mm-hmm. I have been very, very supportive of him trying to do these things. I have told him on Sunday, I supported him then, I would support him now. But exactly, I will not K9. Stand by and watch somebody be straight up disrespectful and accuse people and say things that have absolutely no bearing. Absolutely nothing.
That's not true. Accusing Katie, saying that he, whatever Seth said, she's the last person to see him. It's only natural that Seth would point the finger there and say, what's going on? Cheerleader for Seth, right? Oh my God. I just had a thought. I just had a vision of Chris with pom-poms and a short skirt. Uh-oh. Oh my God. Oh.
Okay, well, again, I just, if I could just step in.
I mean, Chris, I would love for us to refocus and talk about not necessarily the investigation that we can't talk about, but what has been done, what you understand about dog tracks, what you understand about the circumstances. We could go on and on all night, and I know we have a lot of really big feelings that are valid. But I think Heather would agree.
I gotta stop it because you guys are making me laugh. And a mullet, a bobbing mullet. Has anybody ever seen Justin's chicken party. Right? Do you know where I'm going with this? I don't know if I can do it, guys. You'll have to encourage me if you want me to do something like that. Well, that's good because you probably wouldn't be here if you didn't. Oh my gosh. Oh. My daughter escaped a 15-year DV marriage 2 years ago. She's almost totally blind. And mom to my 2 grands. CP's voice was very reminiscent. Oh, I can imagine, Noni. Yeah. I went through DV, and the voice isn't similar, but the tone, that tone is very triggering for me. Chicken parties are great. My cat runs when he else goes. The E is the best for the mullet, machete, karate. I know. I'm just thinking of something here about like going back in and doing a cheer. Go, Seth, go. Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh, yeah. That would be hilarious. You know, never know.
Just really love to redirect this back to Sebastian because the anger doesn't solve anything.
It's not truly all anger. It's disappointment.
No, and I'm not saying that. And I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying at this point, it's just
I could
just
see
not
that.
helping
An
find
autistic
Sebastian.
child wouldn't
and
like
it's
that, right?
like an energy vampire, you know,
Right.
and we're all tired. And I mean, I can't imagine how tired you are. I know how tired I am. So I would love to redirect back to what you know and what you think.
And then I have some questions that I hope you can answer that will help clear things up.
I'll answer questions unless it's something I have been told by law enforcement that I cannot answer.
Yeah.
I've said
Understood.
that from day one, and
His
I'm telling you
go-to
now,
if he
it
doesn't
has
want to
not
answer a
changed.
question.
So ask your questions.
Did you pass the polygraph?
Yes, I sure did with flying colors.
And it was TBI that gave it to you?
Yes, TBI gave it to me along with another agency.
Okay.
No,
Very
that
good.
was kept quiet because it's nobody. We kept it all quiet.
Well, no, I mean, I think it's great that you're telling us now.
Right. And, you know, Seth knew about it the day on that Tuesday when I took it, passed it. They called and told him that I passed it.
And okay, well, maybe he was told he couldn't say anything.
No, he was told he could say something. They told him so he would try to keep his rhetoric down. That's why they told him. And I have the text message where they asked me if they could tell him. And I said, I have listened to y'all from the beginning. I'm listening to you now. So please do what you feel is.
That's okay, love. It's just YouTube will sometimes, you know, throw their little strike in there. If there's too many caps. You know, I'm sorry that you had to leave that. You know, I think when a channel gets too big, you know, or gets bigger, you know, you don't have the option to be able to show everybody's. And so that's why some of the perks are priority to some of the members, right? And unfortunately, that's what happens. You know, I'm sorry that happened to you. All right, let's continue on.
Best.
Okay. So you passed the polygraph with flying colors. Let me ask you this. People in chat are asking, did you tear down any posters of Sebastian, you or anyone you know?
That is a straight up no, and I can't believe people would think I would tear down flyers or posters of my missing stepson.
Okay, but
Which,
again,
another thing
And
which
I
is kind
will.
of funny that you bring this up, because some people, and yes, they are pertinent to the investigation, have said that there's a video floating around of me tearing these things down.
mhm.
If you got it, post it. Because
I
if you
agree.
ain't got it, shut up.
And I mean, I'll say on record from myself, I have never seen that.
And I
Exactly.
also want to
Because
say,
it doesn't exist.
I'm sure it doesn't.
and I want to say on record that in my conversation earlier with Chris and Katie, Katie said she had one request of me, and that was that when I do these interviews, that I, at some point in the interview, remind people to hand out the flyers and put them up everywhere.
Please, all we're begging. I don't know how to beg you even more. I don't know what it's going to take for America, the world, whoever to understand. We are begging you to hang posters, talk to whomever.
So, I don't know. I mean, we never believe him. I don't know. He's probably said some things that are true somewhere that I'm not remembering right now. But that's funny. Hello, Aquarian. Good to see you. But I did hear that he was seen taking down flyers. But the bad thing is, I don't know if there are receipts for that anywhere. So unless there are receipts, I'm not going to say that that was a fact. Okay, because I don't know. So I mean, that's the problem. Is things are said, and they're said so much that people start to take it as fact. And that's what I try to shy away from as much as I can, because it's one thing to have an opinion about a person's personality, that kind of thing. But when we're talking about specifics, like actually pulling down the flyers, well, I'd want to see some, because if somebody saw them, they could have taken a picture, right? I mean, if I was in the area and I saw somebody taking down Sebastian's flyers and I realized that that's Chris, I would have taken a picture, right? I mean, I would have. And I might even have addressed him. Why are you taking down your stepson's flyer? So that's something that we should have with receipts. This conversation, Love Matters, was on the 27th of April. Do I think the internet will blow up when he is found? We may have a blackout. Yes, in my opinion, I do think the internet will blow up when he's found. And I keep waiting for it every day, There was a dispute over the flyers when Seth started bringing out different pictures and YouTube channels were putting their logos on the flyers. Allegedly, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. I agree with, no. Guys, am I trying to grow my channel? Of course I am. And I promote it everywhere I can. But no. If I was going out putting out flyers for a missing child, there's no way that I would add my logo on there. First of all, I'm going to use the approved logo or the approved flyer. And I'm not going to add anything to it. I'm going to print it out just the way it's supposed to be. So I do remember something being said about that, and that's horrible, in my opinion. That's just awful. I don't, I mean, I'm not going to question other creators and what they do, I guess. It's just not something that I would do. I really wouldn't.
Spread the words, keep your eyes open, and when you find something, don't wait 2 weeks to make a report. Because let me tell you something, that's what's been going on. Some of the leads that are coming in are 2 and 3 weeks old.
Why
Instead
do you
of
think
when you see something, you pick up the phone immediately and you call the cops.
Yeah.
Don't call your best friend and say, "Hey, I think I've seen this kid." Don't call these investigators. No offense, Chloe and Heather. You don't call them first. You don't call Seth.
Noni brings up a very good point. If anyone had a video after the hate that has happened in this case, and if it's true that people in the area are afraid of him and or his family, they sure wouldn't show their video or pics now. You're right, Noni. You're right. You're absolutely right. And and that's true because the neighbors have said they were all kind of afraid of him. So, yeah, they're not, and that's sad because how many people are holding back? Look at how much reward money there is out there, guys. How much reward money there is. And people are not speaking. There are people that know something. If my opinion, my theory is correct, and Sebastian did not leave that house on his own, Katie had help. Okay? It was more than just Katie. And it probably was more than just Katie and or Chris, if Chris was in town. People know. People know something. And I still hold on to the fact that we don't know what went on with Green Hoodie Guy, right? I don't know if I saw an exchange or not. I did see them talking. There was some kind of verbal exchange going on, and there was some kind of loudness that would draw other people's attention to them over there, standing over there, whether it was laughing or whether it was yelling. There was some kind of raised voice thing that people turned around to see what's going on over there. Okay? But if Green Hoodie Guy doesn't have anything to hide, why hasn't he come forward? That's my opinion. Why hasn't he come forward? I didn't know people put their logos. Wow, I wouldn't either. Yeah. Yeah, that's terrible. There's been some unbelievable nasty stuff done in this case. So said this is about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers missing for 10 months. Absolutely. And I wouldn't blame them. Most people want peace in their lives. Yeah, I'm not blaming them. The only thing that I would say is that if they have, Chris taking down flyers is not gonna help us find Sebastian, right? So it's not imperative that they call. Oh, excuse me. But if people have knowledge, they need to speak up. It's a lot of money. $225,155. A lot of money. A lot of money on the table. Someone needs to speak up. if they're not comfortable going to Sumner County, then they need to call the FBI or Dog or Nick. They will see that they get protection. Count on it. Count on it. Rumors were that it was Seth's mom who had the video of the posters being taken down. She went quiet after making a statement to police and getting attacked on social media. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, she has gone fairly quiet, hasn't she? That's too bad. You know, this hate, the flashlight video wasn't aliens floating Sebastian through his walls or windows, and it darn sure wasn't a garbage truck. Hello. It wasn't. Garbage trucks don't go through yards. Oh, you finished your own thought. Gotcha. Yeah, there's so many things out there that I can't believe people dismiss. When you look at the mob crew's overlay of that flashlight video, it's very telling. Not to mention that 3 different neighbors have confirmed it. So, to me, that's a fact. If you've got confirmation from 3 different people that have confirmed that, I mean, with Dog, Nick, and the reward, I think more tips are coming in. I would feel safe turning it into Dog or Nick than LE. Me too. Me too. Honestly, in fact, I just had a tip tonight, and I messaged it right to Nick, and he answered within seconds, guys. He's awesome. He had already seen it, so what I was showing him. But yes, I mean, if they're not comfortable, because a lot of people in the area, I think, are aware of the friendship between law enforcement and the Proudfoots and the Bowersocks. So they're not comfortable, bringing anything to them, I don't think. But what they need to do, like I said, FBI is not going to let that kind of thing fly. You could go to the Memphis FBI office, I think, or is it Nashville now that's handling it? Memphis had it first, and now it's Nashville. Is that right, guys? Ginger probably knows. She has a lot of information. I've been picking her brain. But, yeah. So, I don't know. That'd be who I'd go to. Dog or Nick. I know. I could... I agree with you, Noni. I think I could do it. I just don't have the patience to do it. I'll be real honest with you. I don't have the patience to do that kind of stuff. I could do it if I had to. Okay, I think I got a good link for tips if they are too scared, in my opinion. Gotcha. Oh, great. Okay. Well, we won't discuss them. I trust what the mob crew did with it. I believe that he was very careful in not manipulating anything, in my opinion. And, yeah, just not going to be Not going to be a good thing. um, yeah, another narrative. We don't need it. We don't need it. All right, let's listen to a little bit more.
You don't call anybody but law enforcement only and make your report
And
immediately.
I will say, we've received tips that maybe haven't been called into law enforcement, but we call them in. And we also received tips that have been called into law enforcement, but the person that called the tip in didn't get any feedback when they were told they were going to be called back. And so they were worried that maybe it didn't get looked into enough. So I don't want to think
for the record,
passing
right.
tips
So
to law
for the record, I think what folks need to understand, because no, y'all don't have all the information that Katie and I and some of the information that Seth has. You don't. And I understand that. And I'm sorry that we can't give you every single thing under the sun. I wished we truly could. But unfortunately we can't.
Right.
But when you do make a report and you give them a name and a number, you tell them the location, you tell them a very detailed description and everything. You don't expect to get a call back from law enforcement, period. Don't.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sorry, but they don't have the time to stop and answer every single call back when they're.
Okay. I am going to agree with Chris right there. There's a miracle every day. I do agree with them. Okay. So it's like when I've given Nick tips. I don't expect him to follow up or tell me what's going on or They're busy. They're doing a job. And it'd be the same as if I was working. If I did give a tip to law enforcement, I would not expect anything back. In fact, I gave one to Heather that I told her she didn't have to get back to me. Would I have liked to know? Of course. But yeah, you can't expect, they're working hard. They've got a job. So we cannot expect them to, think about how many tips come in for this case alone, guys. How many tips have come in from the beginning? There's no possible way for law enforcement to answer every single one. That's why it's important that you trust who you're giving it to. Right? You have to trust the person you're giving it to. Then you know it's going to be followed up on. Right? You just know. And you can leave it there and feel confident. So I remember Nick saying in one of the first videos that they would solve this before the end of the year. Sounds so far off then, but now feels maybe we are close. Well, I'm still believing by Christmas, which isn't that far away. And I really, really hope that's true. Nick and Doug also said that come January 1st, President Trump is going to be throwing some money toward this case. So allocating some funds toward this case. So he's aware of the Sebastian Rogers case. So I hope it's true. But I hope that won't be necessary because I'm still believing, and I hope you all believe with me, that Sebastian will be home in Seth's arms by Christmas. That's my prayer. So I'm gonna have to switch my tinfoil for my hats to the nonstick stuff. The regular tin foil starting to stick to my head. My mind gets so. Oh, goodness. Oh. What does that mean? K9, what are you saying? Are you having typos or something? What's going on, K9? I'm going to give you a minute to type, but yeah, I don't understand what you're saying. uh, that's funny. To the nonstick stuff, right? Oh, gosh. Yeah. Could we just put that nonstick stuff all the way around the channel and us? And that would be wonderful because I don't want any part of it. Oh, Lord, again. You are too funny. What's going on? Dang, spell check, right? Oh, my goodness. Well, I think we are going to call it a night, and we will pick up this one tomorrow night. We'll continue on with it. Always gets us laughing. I think we have to laugh through these because they're too triggering for some of us, so we have to laugh. It's oh my goodness. Well, it has been fun being with you guys again tonight. Be sure to hit the like button on your way out. I really appreciate it. Share the channel. Help us grow and be awesome. I'm going to leave you with our grannyism for tonight. I think it's appropriate. Speak when you are angry, and you will make the best speech you will ever regret. And, not only does this relate to Chris tonight, right? But, yeah, I mean, it could be any of us, right? I mean, how many times have any of you said anything when you're angry and then regret it later, right? And wish you could take things back. And that's the thing with words, They're out there in the ether and you can't take them back, You can only ask for forgiveness, right? Let me see. Aw, thank you, Love Matters. This case, poor Sebastian deserves so much better than what he's gotten. Yeah, we need to keep the prayers going. And yeah, we need to laugh. We need to laugh. Because that's what Sebastian would want. They said he was goofy, right? He'd want us laughing. All right. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a good night. Okay. Thank you for watching another episode of Granny's Crime Busters. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe and like and even share the content. You can follow us on any of our other social media platforms at YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We really appreciate you guys, and you can also email us at granniescrimebusters@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.